So, Outcome Memories is a game. A very fun game, actually. In fact, I probably have more hours in Outcome Memories than I do in Osu, and I have a lot of hours in Osu. In that time, however, I have encountered a lot of things that are mildly annoying at best and frustrating at worst. And today, I want to show off Sarcasm's list of annoyances in Outcome Memories. This really isn't going to have any bugs. This is going to be mostly things that are caused by the community because bugs are low-hanging fruit at this point. I mean, 2011X couldn't even be stunned for a week. If you liked the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Subscribe if you want to. Join my community Discord, and let's not waste any more time and hop into the video. Of course, you can't start a video out like this without talking about the guy that insta-locks a character that is very important linked to the team and ends up getting the team wiped. Be this a Sonic that is new, or a Cream that got caught in a bad position and punished for it. It's frustrating either way. Of course, this really isn't that bad, considering how is a person supposed to learn a character if people yell at them for not knowing how to play them, but in the moment, it is somewhat annoying for most survivors. Unless you're me, obviously, because I never need help and I am the best survivor player of all time. Speaking of the best survivor of all time, when you're playing against a really good survivor team, and you low-key feel powerless to stop them from beating your ass into the ground. Now, obviously there are ways to win against a good team. It really does take just one mistake on their side to start snowballing. Like, maybe you could get Metal killed before you rage, or you block a stun that otherwise would have won them the match. And when you do that, it is very satisfying. But when they cover for each other's mistakes, it becomes an uphill battle that can be somewhat frustrating to someone who doesn't know how to deal with a good team. Good teams are required for some characters to survive, like Tails and Cream. So it is pretty annoying when you're playing these characters and you've been fighting for your life, all for you to die, and when you go into the spectate camera and see that all the stunners that could have been helping you are aura farming across the map with their emotes. This one is worse than the other two so far because, not that I ever need their help. Again, best survivor ever. But, some Tails mains out there and like Creams, they might not have my luck, skill. So it is somewhat annoying for them in specific. Not me, them. His passive Animal Sense gets its own little section because it's never really useful outside of one scenario, and that being when 2011X is invisible and trying to sneak up on you. And it can't even do that properly because it has a cooldown for whatever reason. I don't understand. You can't tell when Colossus unblocks when he's right in front of you, which is pretty detrimental, especially since Tails' cannon is put on a 15-second cooldown if you cancel it. So that's not really always an option. And since the aura never disappears, you kind of really have to pay attention to the animations. Animal Sense is more of a detriment of a passive than it helps. This is also true-ish to the world card with Amy, but to a much lesser extent because she can get good info with it at least. Keeping on the topic of Tails for a moment. His tails. They're too damn big now. I can't snipe properly because they take up half the screen. Please, Outcome devs, make the tails like transparent, or the whole character transparent, or make him snipe from first person, or something, because the whole point of a sniper is to be able to see, and his tails stop me from being able to do that. Tails doll is actually a pay-to-win cosmetic now. You can't even get that anymore because it was limited to the Halloween event. It's the glasses DLC, it lets the sniper see. That rhymed. I wasn't expecting that to rhyme. That was kind of cool. With Tails doll, actually, I don't like most of the canon cosmetics on him. They look so clunky, they take up half his body. Let's be real, he shouldn't be able to hold him like that. Let's be honest. I don't know, this is a very minor nitpick, but that's what this video is about. So, Amy's hammer throw is annoying for many reasons. First of all, it works as a landmine half the time. Not always, but when it does, it makes you feel like an off-brand tripwire. Even if, let's be honest, you did it on accident. If you aim your camera wrong, the hammer will also be thrown behind you, which has screwed me over a lot in the past. Ironically, her hammer throw is almost as much of a gamble as she is in and of itself. It's kind of crazy how that works out, actually. Salty survivors. I don't know if I have to elaborate, but I'm going to anyway. Imagine it. Let's say you're like 2011X and you kill someone and they call you a tunneler or glazer because you did your job. I know, right? Survivor players when a killer kills. This is especially frustrating in an instance where you kind of have to tunnel out someone specific just because they happen to be the closest or because they're playing a high value character like Cream or Amy. And then you get chewed out in chat and then they leave and the cycle repeats. Also, cheesing an LMS by leaving them on low HP when it starts is always somewhat annoying. Which is why I try not to let a survivor start one without like at least 120 HP. Enough to give it a fair chance without being like, annoying for me to play against. Of course, this one is ultra satisfying when the low HP LMS backfires and you clutch the win with the survivor anyway. Makes the EXE so mad, like, I can never blame EXE players for this though, because it is a valid thing to do, but it is annoying nonetheless. However, bypassing last man standing entirely is something that I could never forgive. That is a joke. You're supposed to laugh now. I always try so hard to ensure at least someone gets their LMS. It is the most fun part of the game, I can't lie. Rooting for someone to win is always nice, and is a good blood pumper as Survivor, so whenever it is bypassed by just like downing everyone, it always feels somewhat cheesy. Which, you know, I can't blame either, because EXE's life already has hard enough with how the game is balanced, but, you know, it's still annoying. Trying to heal someone as Cream and them not coming to you when they hear the circle of healing is... Listen, if I'm trying to heal you and you are actively running away from me, I'm going to leave you to die. I don't care. I'm not chasing you around when there are other people I gotta attend to. People do not have enough respect for their Cream mains. People who try to last man standing farm. You know the ones. Like, usually they're Eggmans or Sonics, but it can be any character. The ones that refuse to help the team so that they can do LMS to prove how good they are at the game. Funny thing about this is, these types are usually pretty bad at last man standing, and often I don't realize they're doing it until I've already left them for last. Which is annoying as hell, even if they don't even win half the time. There are certain times where it's understandable, such as if LMS is inevitable and there's like still 4 minutes on the clock, so you save your cooldowns and run away to give the best chance possible for you to survive, then it's absolutely fine. Actually, I encourage that. Because if the match is already hopeless and LMS is the final chance survivors have to win, then by all means, take the chance and get into as good a spot as possible to be able to fend off the EXE for yourself. But if you're doing it at like 5 minutes left, 5 people still alive, then yeah, it becomes a problem, and you're a piece of shit survivor. You're a piece of shit teammate. Unless you're Tails, because let's be honest, Tails isn't doing much anyway. And last, but certainly not least, is playing 2011X, and the round ends before you can get your rage mode. This one is the worst offender of minor nitpicks in this game, because it is super annoying when it happens. Usually it's because Metal decides just not to stun you and runs away instead with Destructive Charge, same with Knuckles doing it with punch resistance. This really only will happen on a smaller team, but when it does happen on a big team, it is the most frustrating thing that can happen to an EXE. Before we end this video off, I just want to say thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers and getting me monetized on my YouTube channel. You know, I never thought this would happen, but it did happen. So now, because it did happen, I want to show off one of my baby bunnies, because you guys deserve to see him. This one's name is Shadow. I know, he's absolutely fucking adorable, and I love him, and he's cuddly, and he loves to sit on my shoulder like this, and he'll sit here for hours on end. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to thank you for getting me monetized. You know, I can make money and host events now for my community with prize monies and stuff, you know? Let's keep a lookout for those. I will make announcements in my Discord when I do them. And the prizes are going to be pretty good. And, yeah, that's the video. Just mild inconveniences. That's it. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Subscribe if you want to. Join the community Discord. And I hope that you have a wonderful day.